Yeah, I'm here. I'm ready. Can you? Okay. Bill Buschel turbocharged my involvement in open mics. I had spoken before at literary salons and libraries, but I didn't see how to really move ahead. Then I discovered the Writers Center open mic in 2019. With Bill running the show, I became a regular. Over the months and years, I found my voice with his encouragement. From Bill's astute, heartfelt comments, I learned the value of the telling phrase, how words can capture a moment, a personality speaking out or lashing out. In his honor, I'm calling this piece Everyday Poetry, lines I've heard over the decades or even said myself that I associate with a dot in time. I've provided context for all of them. They fall into three topical obsessions: Texas, dating, and my parents. So, to start, they sit in the dark because dark are their sins. This was spoken by a devout Baptist lady in my youth, looking askance at her daughter and her husband watching TV in the dark with the blinds drawn against the bright Texas sunshine. I'd sit here and talk and you'd eat it all up. That was something said to me by a fellow high school student explaining why she wouldn't go out with me. Some are what I called Shirleyisms, honoring my mother, Shirley Elizabeth Listener Wallach. Imagine this with a heavy Texas accent. Well, she sure knows how to wobble her twat. This was about a beauty pageant contestant. In my youthful innocence, I thought twat referred to somebody's rear end. How wrong I was. You're just like your father. You're just like your mother. My divorced parents, alas, used me as a target in the long emotional wreckage of their marriage. My mother spoke from frustration, my father from malice. They'll eat you alive at Princeton if you don't know opera. That's from my father, part of his campaign to convince me to spend my senior year in high school at the Lawrenceville School in New Jersey to become a polished young gentleman. Actually, not knowing much about Bruce Springsteen was a much bigger issue at Princeton. This sports classic came from an assistant coach for my high school baseball team. Coach Canales felt that some of the players weren't hustling enough at a practice, so he said, "Grandma was slow, but she was old." Did the guys run faster? I don't know, but he sure made a big impression on me when he said that, and I've used it many times since then. Polo, I'm going to get the hell out of Texas. A high school classmate reminded me that I once said this to him, and I did get the hell out, although I've always liked going back and, of course, writing about it. I love it here in Texas. We can build whatever we want and shoot our guns. This was said by a contact involved in Houston real estate. And that's because Houston really doesn't have any zoning laws, so you can build whatever you want. I don't think there was anybody else in that situation. This came up from a romantic interest in the 1980s when I asked her 20 years later if she had been sleeping with anybody besides me when we were dating, and she had become pregnant. Two poetic musings came from another romantic interest in the early 1980s. Imagine Mrs. Maisel saying something like this: "Van, you're only 25, but I'm already 25. Well, she wanted to move our relationship along after 2 months. She had no time to waste. She also said, excuse the language, I've been fucked so many times I had to get a bigger diaphragm. Was she trying to make me jealous? People who knew about such things later told me, no, Van, that's not the way it works. And finally, you're a self-involved prick who just doesn't get it. This was another moment from a relationship gone wrong, sadly so. I think I'm going to make this the title of the next volume of my memoirs. So those are some moments in time. Bill, thank you for everything.